Hello everyone, I'm forecaster Jack Sillin here to show you today how to use some of the seasonal forecast tools we have here at WEATHER.US. So we just added these. If you're looking for a daily forecast, 7 to 10 days in advance, you're going to use the forecast box over here. I have a separate video explaining how to do that and how to get that information. This video is going to discuss longer range forecasts out to 6 months. So to get these, you mouse over the forecast tab here on the WEATHER.US homepage. You're going to go over to the seasonal forecast. This is done by the ECMWF, and this forecast is available for free exclusively here at WEATHER.US. So enjoy that. All of these forecasts are given as monthly anomalies. So that means that the model is taking the average temperature, average forecast temperature for the entire month, and then comparing that average to what you typically expect in a given region at a given time of year. So this forecast here shows warmer than normal temperatures, for the eastern seaboard back into the desert southwest here, and then cooler than normal temperatures up in the northern plains and northern Rockies here. So you see warmer than normal temperatures up in the Maine, New England area, and warmer than normal temperatures down in Florida. That doesn't mean the temperature is going to be the same in Maine as it is in Florida. The average temperature in Florida is way higher in November and anywhere, generally during the year, any time of the year, than Maine. So Maine is still going to be cold. Florida is still going to be warm. It just so happens that, according to this model forecast, during the month of November, both Maine and Florida are going to be slightly warmer than normal. And then the same goes up here in the colder than normal area. This doesn't mean that Eastern Canada is going to see the same temperature as Western Canada. It just means that they're both forecast to be slightly below normal. So we have a number of different parameters available here for the seasonal forecasts. We have anomaly temperature. We have water anomaly temperature. So this is the what the forecast is for the sea surface temperature, and then compared to the climatology for that area. Once again, this is forecasting warmer than normal water temperatures in November off the New England coast. That doesn't mean that the water is going to be warm off the New England coast. If you go for a swim, you're still going to be pretty cold here off Cape Cod. It just means that it's going to be slightly less cold than what you'd usually expect in late fall off the coast of New England. The same general principle applies for precipitation. Wetter and drier than normal conditions. This is showing, drier than normal forecast here for British Columbia. That doesn't mean that this area is going to, see sunshine every day of November. There's still going to be strong Pacific storms that come into this area that drop a lot of precipitation. It's just that the model's forecast is for slightly less precipitation up here compared to normal, and then slightly more down here in the Pacific Northwest. And then the same thing, again, is going to apply anywhere else. If it's drier than normal forecast here in the southeast, it doesn't mean that they're not going to get any rain. Just as a wetter than normal signal here in the Great Lakes doesn't mean it's going to rain every day in Detroit or in Indianapolis. There's still going to be wet days and dry days. It's just that the scales are forecast to be tipped a little bit in one direction or another according to the model. We also have sea level pressure anomalies. So this takes the sea level pressure and then forecast is it going to be higher or lower than normal. And again, this is all compared to normal. So this area in the Great Lakes is prone to see strong storms this time of year. So a higher than normal pressure signal here just means that the model is forecasting that those storms might not be quite as intense as they usually are. There'll still be strong storms in this area. It's just that they, on average, might be a little bit less intense than normal. And then same out here, it's not going to be a parade of insane storms all month for the Seattle-Portland area. It just means that the Pacific storm train in this area is forecast to be slightly more intense than usual. And then the same general principle is going to apply for 500 millibar heights. This 500 millibar height is the height in the atmosphere that you'd have to go up to for the pressure to be 500 millibars. And so then, compare that height to what is typically expected, and you're going to get the anomaly. So warmer than normal, or higher than normal heights generally correlate well to drier and warmer than normal weather. Then the opposite is true for lower than normal heights. And again, this is just a general guide. This model isn't perfect. It's gonna make mistakes. This isn't gonna be the exact pattern, but it's a good, good to use for overall trends. There's some pretty strong signals here of generally lower than normal heights up in this area of the northwest, and then generally higher than normal heights across the east and south of the country. So that's a pretty strong, pretty reliable signal. Don't get too caught up in, is Salt Lake City going to be above normal or below normal? That doesn't matter as much as, the general trends. So enjoy these forecasts. Hope you've learned something from this video in terms of how to use these forecasts. They go out to 6 months. So you can see this run, which is November, extends all the way out into May. So you can get all these different parameters 6 months ahead of time. Just don't put too much stock into them. So yeah, thank you for watching and enjoy the seasonal forecast we have at WEATHER.US.